Lately, my mentees have come up with these repeated interview questions that they were asked when they went for their own interviews. And I'm like, okay, let me do a video to answer some of those questions. Welcome back to my channel, Centech Solutions. My name is Ngozi Ogadi. And I'm going to be giving you answers, like I said, to those interview questions. I see the likes, I see the comment. I do not take you all for granted. Please leave me a comment. Like I said, what are those interview questions? What are those things that you're finding difficult to understand? Drop the comment and I'm going to do a video for you every Wednesday. So back to the interview question, how do you come up to speed as a new Scrum Master? Okay, so we all know that when you join an organization, you actually need time to observe, time to come up to speed, to get to know the people, the process, and the tools. So what I would say is in answering those questions, I'm going to be basing my answers in those three categories: the people, the process, and the tools. For the people, you want to get to know your team members. You want to ask questions like, who are my stakeholders? Identify your stakeholders. Also identify the key decision makers in your team. Also, you want to meet your product owner one-on-one. You want to meet your dev leads. You want to meet your developers. You want to get to know them on a personal ground. Build trust. That is the first thing that you should do. And also know that as a new Scrum Master, when you join an organization, we are usually given period of observation. Some companies may give you 2 weeks, some 1 month, some may even give you up to 3 months, because you really need to understand the project that you are placed on. Right? So, like I said, get to know the people on your team, get to know who your program managers are. That is, if you're working on a safe environment, get to know who your RTEs are, get to know them beyond just the job, get to know them personally. Also, get to know the kind of projects that they're handling, what their roles and their responsibilities are, so that you can at least have an idea, have an insight on what they do, right? Questions like when you're meeting with your stakeholders, you want to ask them, okay, how do I know that your business has actually started? Right? You want to know their current state. You want to know those challenges that they are currently facing, so that you can actually make an impact. Okay, that's for that. Then for the process, we all know that every organization, they all have their own processes in place. What you see in company A may be different from what company B does. Yes. So you want to understand what they're working on. Okay, how do they do their documentations? Where are those documents kept? Do they have SharePoints, that a centralized SharePoint site where you can go and actually get those things? You want to also ask questions like, do we have a working agreement in place? You want to get to know all those things, the process, the domain. You want to understand, okay, this is how things are done here. This is how you communicate. This is how you actually, what we call the roadmap in their processes. You want to understand those things. You want to go to their domain. You want to ask. Although sometimes it's difficult, but some organizations, they understand that you need access to their testing environment. If you're conversant with that, you want to know, okay, how are these testings, how they do their testings. You want to understand things about their processes in general. You also want to know where their document site is. Say, for example, where they keep their templates, where how they design it, how things are done generally. You want to know them. Okay, then you want to know the tools also. Like I said you need to know the people, the process, and the tools. So you want to know things like, okay, what kind of tools are they using? Some organizations, they use Jira, some they use Azure DevOps. Okay, you want to be, if you're, say for example, you're just coming from a company that use Jira and you're joining an organization that is using ADO, you need to learn it. Yes. Although they are kind of similar, but you also need to learn how to use ADO, right? You want to understand the tools. You also want to speak to the developers to understand, okay, what kind of tools are they using in their coding? You want to know if they use Python. You also want to have DevOps engineer to understand the CI/CD pipelines. you need to understand a lot of things. You need to ask questions. You need to understand those things to be able to come up to speed. Once you're done, even though understanding the project is a continuous thing, as you attend those meetings, as you speak to them, as you interact with them, most of the things we was thinking, you get to understand most of them. These things you should be able to understand, okay, this is what they are currently doing, even if you don't have an in-depth of what they're doing. So that would be my answer for that question. Then number 2 interview question will be, how do you resolve conflict in a team? Okay, we all know that conflicts may arise at any time. Yes, especially for organizations that are just new, that are just transiting from waterfall to agile, conflicts are very, very common. Okay, so how, as a Scrum Master, do you resolve conflict in your team? Okay, my answer would be, thank you so much for that question. So what I try to do when there's a conflict in my team is try to observe. You need to observe. You need to understand, okay, what is the cause of this conflict? You need to understand the problem, and do not focus on the people. No, I do not focus on the people. I try to understand, okay, what is really causing the problem, root cause of this conflict. You also want to understand what kind of mindset do they have? Where are they coming from? What kind of backgrounds are they coming from? Once you're done with scheduling a one-on-one meeting with each and every one of them, say for example you have 2 people in your teams that are having conflict, you want to first of all meet with the first person to understand, okay, what is the point of agreement of the conflict, and what is also the point of disagreement, what is the issue on ground. You want to understand them, and when you're done with the first person, when someone schedules a meeting and is willing to meet you, you want to be thankful. Then secondly, you want to schedule a meeting with the other party, get to understand, okay, what is the root cause of this conflict that we're having. Try to understand their point of agreement and also the point of disagreement. Okay, so at the end of the day, the next thing that you should do is schedule a joint meeting with both of them. You want to understand, okay, these were the things that you said. These were the things that you said. Okay, can we shift ground? Okay, come to identify those points of agreement and the points of disagreement, and they do what we call a give and take. There is no win-win situation. No one wins in a disagreement. You don't want to have that. You don't want to say, okay, this one is actually right and this one is wrong. You don't want to apportion blame, because if you do, the team spirit is going to be broken. Okay, so like I said, you need to influence, you need to encourage them to shift ground so that we can resolve the conflict. So when you do that, trust me, you will be able to resolve it. Yes, because like I said, their time that they actually gave to you to sit and actually talk means that they want to resolve those conflicts. So do these things and or say these things during your interview. I'm very sure that you will land the job. Yeah. And the third interview question would be, what is a good day and what is a bad day? We all know that there are days that will be good and there are days that may be or will be bad. Okay, so for me, I'm going to answer these questions, this particular question like this. A good day for me would be coming into the office and you see your teams chatting, collaborating, helping each other. You know, that team spirit. It's a good day when you see it. And another thing for me, a good day would be during the meeting. Say for example, the list stand up, everyone is present and everyone is giving their updates. You see progressive updates when you hear it. You should know that, okay, my team members are actually working. It's a good day. Okay, another good day for me would be my software working. Everything is working very fine. So we're all working towards the sprint goal. Everybody is asking questions when they don't understand. The courage to actually speak up, say those things that you need clarifications on. It's a good day for me. Another good day would be, say for example, you're facilitating your retrospective section. Remember that during retrospective, those developers they hardly ever talk. It is very difficult for them to talk. And on that day, you come in and you're facilitating and you see everybody present and they are collaborating, they are chatting, they are contributing. It is a good day for me. Yes, I will call that day, oh, this day is actually beautiful. It's a good day for me. I'm really happy. Then what is a bad day? A bad day will actually be the opposite. Okay, but I will give 2-3 points. For me, a bad day would be you're coming to your teams and there's conflict. Oh, you don't want to see that. Trust me, you don't want to experience conflict in your team because everything is going to be on a standstill. This one is arguing, this one is upset, this one is not happy the way things are done, this one thinks you're favoring one, this one thinks you're not doing things right. Conflict generally you don't want to see it in your team. For me, it's going to be a bad day when I come in and there's a conflict. Number 2, a conflict will be you come in and someone says, hey, the software that we're using to build this code is actually down, it's not working. Wow, it means that day there will be no work. Don't forget that the sprint, for most of the companies I've worked with, we do 2-week sprint, and you come in and a day the software is down, it means nobody's going to work. It also means that the work that they are supposed to accomplish that particular day or that very day will not be accomplished because, of course, they are not working. It means it may not be working towards our sprint goal. It also means that things may not get done when they are supposed to be done. Okay, for me, that is a bad day. Another bad day would be maybe a team member just resigns. You know what that means, right? Getting someone new. And it is common when you come to a new organization, you have that period of observation, the period of coming up to speed. So you can imagine when your team member, especially the top performers, just resigns. Oh no, you don't want to have that. I don't want to have that in my team, but although it happens. But for me, it's going to be a bad day because it means that the speed of completion, the way we work, is going to be like, it's going to slow down because the new person needs to come up to speed. Okay, another bad day for me would be you come in during your daily stand-up and one or two developers says, hey, I don't want to be there because I'm tired. I don't think there's a meaning of the daily stand-up adds value. It's a bad day, right? You don't want to have that day. You don't want to have them say that. Okay, you want to have all your developers present. Okay, so that you guys can actually quickly identify those impediments, inspect and adapt, and track your progress towards the sprint goal. So when you don't have your developers present during the daily stand-up, you're not able to get all the full updates that you should ideally have on that day. Another bad day for me would be maybe during retrospective, when I'm doing my retrospective, I'm asking questions and nobody's talking, nobody's collaborating. You don't want to have that. Yes, you don't want to have that. For me, if I encounter this kind of things, I think I'll not be happy. And for me, it's going to be a bad day. So I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Thank you so much. I see you all. I appreciate you all. Please like, comment, subscribe, and spread the good news. Like I said, leave me a message if you have any question you want me to answer to. I do one-on-one preps. I mentor aspiring Scrum Masters. I also certify you to become a release train engineer. So get in touch with me. You can send an email to info@centexsolutions.com, or you can call my number 214-282-1329. Thank you so much and have a great day. Bye-bye.